and continuation of this wellness week. I have enjoyed myself. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you can, just for my sake, if you can put in the chat box one thing that you learned on Saturday, one thing that you learned on Saturday. If you can just put it in the chat box, something that stood out to you, something that that you said, okay, I got this from this particular workshop on Saturday. Can you put it in the chat box, and or you can unmute yourself and share it, and let's see that we are actually engaging in the process, because learning is a cognitive change and a behavioral change. So who wants to go? Let's see. I'll wait for you to put in the chat box. Okay, Abby, thank you. Is the balance and sum of desire, pleasure, and meaning? Obviously, thank you. I was reminded to always be present, as life is not a rehearsal. Thank you, Gracelyn. Absolutely. Anyone else? Let's hear your thoughts from Saturday, from this last minute. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to wait for you to find your chat box. I'm going to wait for you to put it in there. Yeah. Oh, I'm waiting. Thank you, Tonya Adeshola. Authentic happiness is more important. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. We also need to record this session. Thank you, Judy. I see that. There you go. Now you're all coming up. There we go. Yes. Lasha Day, I see that. It's beneficial to focus on positive thoughts, that you can trick your brain that you're happy about almost. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The brain doesn't know the difference between something that's real or something that is imagined. But yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not yet here. Actually, tomorrow never comes, because by the time you're in tomorrow, it's already today. No matter the external circumstances. All right, thank you, everyone. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Joy is meaningful happiness, and true happiness is the sum of the three. Yes, yes, yes. Value your happiness. Happiness. I see that. Thank you for participating. Yes. All right. Even though I'm a university professor, I still teach as if I'm teaching K through 12 students, which is secondary school students sometimes, because I love to inquire about teaching and learning. Like, look, what I've said in class, as it changed you in any way, and what is learning? Learning is a change in cognition, and learning is a change in behavior. So in order for you to have learned what we're doing today, it means that something must have been transformed in your mind, that would actually lead to a change in your behavior. So that is how you know you've learned something. All right, so today I'm going to share this PowerPoint. Let me pin myself. I'm going to share the PowerPoint again, and then we'll talk about a few more very specific things today, moving on from what we learned last week. So this is where we stopped last week. Last week, Saturday. So let's see. We're going to then look at this whole notion of reframing, because happy people don't have a magic button like it's not like they just turn the happiness switch on, that so that they don't go through obvious life inconveniences. That's not how happiness works. Okay, did I stop sharing? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Am I sharing though? I'm not sharing.
Not yet, okay. Not yet.
Yeah, no.
Okay. There you go. Now I'm sharing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now you're pinned.
Okay. All right. So happiness is not this magic button that you push, that gets you out of life's difficulty. That's not how happiness works. Happiness is learned behavior. It's a learned. The lifelong happiness is a learned behavior. It's how to get yourself to the point where you are cognitively happy, so that you can switch on the happiness button. So it's Monday. God is going to do something amazing this week. Yay! This is reframing. I love that image. That's why I shared that. It's about reframing. But what is reframing? When we talk about reframing, it's a process of reconceptualizing. When we talk about, it's a big word, but the word there is concept. The word there is, the root word there is concept. And then if you understand concept, then reconceptualizing means a way of seeing. It's another way of seeing. It's going back to the way you see correctly. So people see through many lenses. They will put on too many lenses. It can be the sorrow lens, and there can be the hurt lens, and then can be this lens. But reframing is changing that thought, first of all, changing the way you feel, reconceptualizing a problem by seeing it from a different perspective. So there's a problem. The problem is here. The reconceptualizing is, if I was wearing the hurt lenses, I'm going to take that off and try to see that problem from another lens. So I put up another lens in order to be able to see it. So altering the emotional context of a problem often serves to alter the perception of the problem's difficulty. So when you are altering the emotional context of a problem, and one of the ways you do this, and this is one of the things I love to share. So let me pause and just share this very quickly for you. And it's a freebie. You don't have to even pay for this one, right? Look, that you are a system. Your body, your body is a system, is a network of systems, right? So when you're having a particular thought or a particular feeling that tries to overwhelm you, you need to remember that your system, and that system consists of parts. That system consists of parts. So if I'm annoyed or angry or hurt, it doesn't mean all of me is angry, annoyed, or hurt. You must always remember this, or at least you should always remember this, that it doesn't mean if you're broken in one way, it doesn't mean your entire system is broken. It means that a part of you is broken, because your body is made up of your core system. Some people know as your soul or your spirit. That is never broken. That stays intact. Now it can retreat to it can retreat to a place where you don't even get access to it anymore if there's too much pain and stuff. But you need to always know and realize that what you're feeling at any particular point is just a part of you feeling that. So never allow that part of you to overshadow everything. So if you're saying, oh man, I just don't like that person, it's just a part of you. All right? Don't allow that to overwhelm everything that you do. You can always, so even though you're fearful or you're anxious, you're also courageous. You're also, faithful. You're also tenacious. So those two things can hold in the same space. All right? So that is, and if you're understanding that, just put in the chat box if you're understanding that. So that's two parts of you. So sometimes, we feel so angry or we feel so hurt that emotion takes over. And anytime you're going to do something else, it just says you can't do that because you're hurt. You can't do that because you're hurt. And sometimes 20 years later, that hurt thing still tries to come up. And the longer you've been hurt, the longer your parts protect you, the louder they get, the louder they get. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't be in a close relationship because something happened. You can't do this. You can't do that. I want you today to kind of just pause, take a deep breath, and say, that is not all of me. That is not all of you. There are other parts of you that you need to give life to. So when we talk about reconceptualization, it's not that you're going back, or it's not that you're trying to bring up something that's no longer there. You're just shifting to another part of you that can see something differently. So in the manner in which you look at the problem, to reframe that problem and that thought or that feeling that you associate with that thought is reframing. So there's this example that is very common that we usually use in my field. This whole notion of the concept from Viktor Frankl's book, From Death Camp to Existentialism. It's a good book if you would like to read it, in which Frankl said, he writes of being in a concentration camp, right, during the Holocaust. And for 3 years, he lived through starvation and torture in 4 camps. He lived through it, just like majority of those who were in those camps. He lost, and were in those concentration camps. He lost his wife, his beloved wife, and all of his family, everybody, and observed most of his inmates die. Frankl says that he kept his mind active. He was planning the lectures that he was going to give after he left the camp, using the materials from the death camp to illustrate points he was going to teach when he left the place. So as a devoted teacher, his careful, deliberate planning of his future lectures kept his spirit and his body alive in hideous, deadening conditions. He survived the death camps and did go on to realize his vision of using his experiences as a great healer. The process was a giant reframe of the hideous situation that got transformed in Frankl's mind. The death camp that killed so many people, he reframed it to use it for a worthy purpose. He was determined that his suffering was going to help other people that would be in this particular, in any horrible physical or mental situations. That I'm not going to die here. In trauma, we have something called post-traumatic growth, right? And I always tell people this: trauma is not a death sentence. It is treatable, it is beatable, and you can do this. On the other side of trauma, if you get to process your trauma, is post-traumatic growth, where you are going to take your crisis, the thing that was supposed to kill you, the thing that was supposed to destroy your very core, you will take that thing, that horrible experience, and you are going to be transformed by it. And then you go on to transform other people. That is what post-traumatic growth is about. It's the other side of suffering, where your suffering now becomes a testimony, where your pain now becomes a purpose. Is that making sense? So most people will never have to endure what Frankl endured in terms of being in a concentration camp like that. But there's a lot of people who have endured a lot of their own pain that looked like the concentration camp. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be physical abuse. It could be sexual abuse. It could be anything. It could be the loss of a home. It could be the loss of finances. It could be anything that has come to overwhelm you and then cause pain and suffering. And when you are living in your pain and suffering, you're living in your limbic system. Yeah. And you're living in a system that literally would hijack your life. And it will ensure that everything around you is catering to the pain. Everything is going to tell you, that pain will now inform what kind of job you do. It would change your personality. That pain will come to change some people, even physiologically, it would change you. You start having all kinds of medical problems. It changes your behavior, that pain. Reframing is the process of transforming that pain. And sometimes you can't do it alone. Sometimes you need help. If you're struggling, make sure you get help. And I hope BIMS can put our link below if you don't have it. And this doesn't have to be a jar, just get help, But we have a group of trauma specialists that we can refer you to if you do not have to suffer alone, okay? So it is important that we can be inspired to keep our attitude strong and hopeful, even in dire circumstances. So reframing requires that you're seeing something in a new way. So I want you to bring something to your fore right now, something that has been kind of not too difficult. Don't bring any trauma to your fore right now, but just something that you're dealing with. Maybe it's just somebody that irritates you. Nothing big. Bring it to your fore, like remind yourself of it right now. And I want you to start to see that in a new way, to see it in a new way, in a positive way. What do you learn from it? What does it mean to you? Those begin to see that thing. And once you see it, I want you in the chat box to just write, yes, I'll wait for you. Once you see it, just put, yes, I see it. So it has to be, I want you to require seeing it in a new way, in a context that allows you to recognize and appreciate a positive aspect of that situation. So bring it something, don't bring anything too big now. Just bring something small to mind. Recall something that you're struggling with a little bit and reframe it. See it in a new way. Once you're done seeing it, in the chat box, put yes. Put yes, I see it in a new way. Or just put yes, which will wait for you. So reframing will help you to use whatever life hands you as an opportunity to take advantage of, rather than avoiding the problems. I'm seeing those yeses. Yes. I'm happy when I see those yeses. Yes, yes, yes. Let's get some more yes in the house. All right, yeses. Excellent. Get to the point where you're getting to a yes. And don't miss your yes. Remember, I said this year, 2022, is a yes year for you. It's a year of the yes. And the most important person you can say yes to is to yourself. Yes to me living. Yes to me being happy. Yes to me reframing. So yes, 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 yes. You know, breakdowns are, you can transform anything. When you transform challenges, it can transform them into new possibilities, to experience the life more fully, that your cup will not be half full. Your cup will be full, filled up over and abundant. The full cup is yours. Anything else that spills over is for other people. That this year you decide, I'm going to live in the full cup, So reframing is not a denial. You're not denying that the problem happened. You're not denying that the challenge you have to deal with is not difficult. Reframing doesn't mean that you have blinders on. That's not what reframing is. You know, even though our circumstances may be hard, even though there may be something there, we can learn to trust the cycles of life. The cycles of life is whatever you put in is going to come back to you. The cycles of life mean there is always going to be a winter. There is always going to be a summer. There's always going to be a spring, and there's always going to be a fall. That's the cycle of life. Nothing has really come and there's no pain that has come that is permanent. That this too will pass. Okay, you have to understand it. You have to discover that in the process of life, it repeats itself, as do the just like summer, fall, winter. What am I missing? Summer, fall, winter. What am I missing? Spring. Okay, there's rebirth in spring, right? So you have that understanding of that transformative process, that you should not be stuck. Don't be stuck in any one season. Don't be stuck. Life is usually like this. It goes up, it ebbs, it goes up, it goes. It's always a change. So nothing should come to really stay. Okay, there's no pain that comes to stay. Even in good things evolve, good things changes. You're not the same person. Your behavior, your character, everything changes. One level of glory to another. So through an understanding and trust in this process, you come to have faith that the periods of hurt, the periods of decline, whether they last for a minute or for months, that this period will also change, can become periods of vibrancy, that periods of you just leaping through over walls, getting to where you need to. You shake yourself up this morning, wherever you are. I want you to just kind of shake it. Just shake yourself and say, I'm not going to stay in one place this year. I am moving in upward trajectories. Just kind of shake yourself. Let's do it. Just do the shake. Do the shake. We're shaking anything that is not supposed to be there. We're shaking it up. It is impossible if you want it. Okay, let me just say this. It is possible for you to stay stuck in one season. When that happens, you've moved into abnormality. When you're stuck in a season, you're in the throes of trauma. When you're stuck in a season, you are no longer living the human life the way it should be lived. When you're stuck in a season, it means that you are going counterculture. So what happens is that whatever it is that has got you to be stuck, we need to take that off so you can function in the ebb of humanity. Summer, spring, winter, fall, those are going to happen. That is the way it's been regulated. We're less likely to be possessed by ongoing moods of pessimism and hopelessness and resentfulness if we flow into this whole transformative process. So even if you're feeling any kind of way, even if something happened to you, look at what can I get from it? What is it? I read a book one time that says, don't waste your tears. Let's get to the other side of crying. Let's get to the other side of inaptitude. Let's get to the other side of pain. We want to get to the place where you show up in your world. I want you to show up in 2022 like there is no tomorrow. Like show up, like stand up and be counted. I'm here. This is what's going to happen. So there is no need to be stuck. If you're stuck, please get help. Our prevailing attitude for 2022 is optimism. So type the word I am optimistic or optimism. Type it in the chat box. Let the world hear it. I am I will be optimistic, or just put optimism. I know it's a long word to type. Yes to optimism. Yes. We say yes to optimism in 2022. That's where we want to be. That is where we want to be. Yes to optimism. You know, it's been a whole year of, this happened, there's a pandemic, there's a this, but guess what? We're 2022, we're taking back. I'm taking my optimism back. I'm taking my optimism back. That's what I want in 2022. Remember, it's the year of the yes. You're going to say yes to good opportunities. You're going to say yes to everything good in 2022. That's what we're going to do. All right. So this is just a fun, before I move on to group gratitude, I wanted to just share this, just quickly, just 5 random acts of kindness per week. Who can say yes to that? 5 random acts of kindness per week. I want to see some yeses. I want to see this thing light up. Who can say yes to 5 random acts of kindness? Who can say it? 5 random, 5. That means out of 7 days a week, you want to do 5 random acts of kindness. They're random, just random. People might not expect you to do it. I say yes to that. I want to do 5 random acts of kindness. That means I have to be intentional about it. That means today I'm going to decide, okay, what is going to be my random acts of kindness? I want to surprise somebody this week. So is it what I'm going to say to them? Is it that I'm going to do something for them? Whatever it is, 5 random acts of kindness. I started mine actually. I started that about two days ago, just randomly blessing people. 5 random acts of kindness. So let me see. Do I have some people who are with me? Yes, 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 yes. I'm game. Yes, I see that. Yes, yes, yes. Let's yes to this. Yes, yes to this. All right. So 5 random acts of kindness. And please, if you say yes to it, we're going to hold you responsible to it. At the end of the wellness, we're going to ask you, about this random acts of kindness. So yes to random acts of kindness. And here's another way: when you can write it in your gratitude journal. Just write, you can write that in your gratitude journal. And one of the things I have clients do is have a gratitude journal. So something where you're grateful for something that happened that day. I always say 5 things, 5 things. What were you grateful for today? And that takes your brain from your maybe self-pity. It takes you to something a little bit different. Gratitude letter, connection with others, discover your strengths and put energy in increasing strengths. We've said some of this yesterday, but because of gratitude is the next place that we're going to. Gratitude. How many of you have a gratitude journal? If you don't, you can get one, and you don't need to have one of those regular journals. I love journals. I have different journals. I have all kinds of them. Here's one that's right here. There's one journal that's right here. Any particular day, I have 2. There's another one. There's this one is actually from. I don't know if we can see it. Anyway, and then if you don't want to do that, you can do it on your iPad, on your iPhones. I mean not iPhones, on your phones. There's an app called Notes. There's an app called Notes. You can download Notes, and on that you can put all kinds. You can journal on that. You can write your thoughts. I have my notes, and then the good thing about Notes is you can save them. You can save them. I have notes that I have moved notes. I wish you could see. I have moved notes from one phone to another. When you upgrade your phone or when you buy a new phone or whatever, I've moved notes. I have notes that I've been keeping for 10 years. It's on here. So find something that works for you. Who is saying yes to that? Yes to journaling. Yes to having somewhere where you are going to actually keep notes. Now, let's move into gratitude. Where is my gratitude? All right. So let's take a deep breath before I move into gratitude. People are saying yes. Okay, Sam says there's a specific app called Day One. There you go. All right, there you go. I'll actually look for that. Thank you for sharing that. So before we move into gratitude, we're going to do a breath work. So if you're able to what do you call it? Turn on your camera so we can see you. We're going to do breath work. So we're doing this together. And what I would like for you, we're going to do the 4-4-4. Okay, let's make it, okay, we're going to do 4-4-4. So it's a little bit shorter. So that means when you breathe in on the count of 4, you're going to hold it 4. And when you, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. That's what all that means. So you're going to do 4, breathe in, hold 4, and breathe out 4. All right? Are you with me? Who else is with us? Who else is with us? Anyone else? You all with us? Yes? No? Come on, people, talk to me.
We're with you.
All right, excellent. All right. All right. Thank you, Abby, for turning on your camera. Amina, thank you. Some of you can't turn on yours, but the more people we have, just so it just looks better, feels better. I can see you. It's just for my sake, really. All right. And so let's do that. So it looks like this. You're going to breathe in through your nostrils 4 seconds. You're going to hold it 4 seconds. You're going to breathe out like you're blowing into a balloon 4 seconds. So it's 4-4-4. All right, we're going to do it 5 times. So let's start. You can close your eyes if you want. All right. So this last one, we're going to do 5, 6, 8. You're going to inhale 5 seconds. You're going to hold 6 seconds. And you're going to breathe out of your mouth 8 seconds. Right? That's the last one. Take your time. What's up? What's up? You can just say any word. I just like to say the word what's up because it just what's up. All right. Good. You all feeling good? We feel better? All right. Let's now go back to our PowerPoints then. Thank you for doing that with me. Tell us what you're feeling right after the breath work before I move on. What are you feeling after the breath work? You can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat box. Tony says, relax. Yes, I feel relaxed too, the way I feel. At ease. Yes, relax. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Anybody feel, oh, I was just going to say, anybody feels calm? Yes, Linsantion. I feel some stress release. Yes, absolutely. That's what we're supposed to see. Make sure you do this. Let this become a lifestyle for you. Just breath work. Just let it be. Do it like do it every morning. Do it like 5 times a day, 5 times in the morning, 5 times in the afternoon, 5 times at night. Do it all through the day. If you have your app, get the breath app. I mean, is it app? Yeah. And if you have one of those smartphones, you can also download it, and it would actually remind you to breathe every hour. So because when you are too stressed, you forget to breathe, and then your brain thinks that there's something going on. All right, what's the name of the app? It's actually called Breathe. It's called Breathe. Tony, it's called Breathe. And so BREHTHE or TH without the E. Anyway, that breathe or breath. It's called. All right. So let's go back to gratitude. Yes, we can do this. And today I'm trying to keep to like an hour so that the rest of the day. So even I might go over a little bit, but it's my goal is an hour today. All right. So gratitude is a validated intervention for depression. And it's also validated to increase happiness. So this is evidence-based gratitude. Gratitude is a positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative. Being thankful and appreciative. And it is associated with several mental and physical health benefits. There is a dose relationship. There's a dose-response relationship to gratitude and positive life adaptations. Gratitude is so simple, but it is highly positively correlated to happiness. So when you experience gratitude, you feel grateful for something or for someone in your life. And then you are going to respond in kind with the feelings of kindness and warmth and other forms of generosity. Gratitude is connected to that hormone that we release called oxytocin. The more oxytocin you have, the more grateful you are. The kinder you are. Oxytocin is the hormones that's released in the body. Women release this in just tons of it. Women release it more than men. Oxytocin is what a mother feels, what the mother releases when they're nursing a child or when they give birth to a child, is oxytocin. Oxytocin is what happens when you are having a beautiful sexual intercourse. Oxytocin is what happens when you're kissing somebody. Oxytocin is what you release when you're giving somebody a hug. Oxytocin, imagine, because of COVID, we've not been able to hug people. Imagine that. Oxytocin not being released. Also, when the more oxytocin you release, the more grateful you are, the kinder you are. The more good feelings you have. So gratitude is the expression of appreciation for what you have. A lot of times we complain about what we have instead of showing gratitude for it. Mind switch. Okay, so you don't have those beautiful pair of shoes, and this is trivial. So you don't have those good, beautiful pair of shoes that you want, but you have shoes. So you don't have the shoes that you want, go check out somebody who doesn't have legs. And so you don't have legs, check out somebody who is dead. So gratitude is appreciating what you have. So you don't have the mansion that you want, but you do have a place to lay your head. So you have not bought yourself a house. Thank God you have money to rent. Are you flowing with me now? It's appreciating what you have. And one of the ways you can appreciate what you have better is by comparing it to those who don't have what you do. That there is a parable in scriptures of the parables of the talents. Somebody had 10 talents, somebody had 5 talents, somebody had 1 talent. And the investor said to them, This is what I'm giving you. Invest into it until I come. The one who had the 10 talents was so amazing. Oh my God, I could do this, I can do that. Don't you have a friend like that? They can do all kinds of things. You know, they're professional, they're doing home, their marriage is on, everything. It looks like they can do no wrong. Talent, 10 talent. They're 10 talent people. They can do multiplicities of things. And then there's a 5 talent person too. They might not have the 10, but they have things going on in their lives. They're bossing it all the way. The kids are loving them. You know, they're writing books, they're doing this, they're all of that. 5 talents. And then you have the 1 talent person who did not appreciate what he or she or they had, right? Didn't appreciate it. What do? They take that talent and they bury the talent. Right? They're like, no, not doing that. No gratitude. Because why? Because that person, the 1 talent person, looked at the 10 talent people and said, how come I don't do that? How come I can't do that? That person looked at the 5 talent and said, how come I don't have them? I have this miserable 1 talent. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm not worthy. I'm shameful. Everything. They put themselves down. Nothing. Don't do anything. When the investor returns, collects a 10, collects the interest on the 5, gets to the 1 and says, the 1 says, well, look, boss, I haven't done anything because you gave me 1 talent. The investor called this person wicked. Why? Because not appreciating what you have is a wicked act. You have 1 talent. Do you know how many 1 talent people have changed this world? 1 talent. That's the only 1 thing they do. Just one. Have you ever heard of a guy, Zuckerberg? 1 talent. 1 talent. Have you ever heard of a guy, Martin Luther King? 1 talent. We celebrate him today. He could talk. 1 talent. Well, we can go on and on and on and on and on. The great Mandela in South Africa. Why is his name escaping me now? Not Martin Luther King. What is our guy who is passed now, who was in prison for a long time?
Nelson Mandela.
Thank you, Mandela. Think of Mandela. What was his talent? Tenacity. I'm not going to give up. How many people can stay in jail for 20-something years? What is your talent? What is happening in your life? You begin to take that and express appreciation towards it. It is the recognition of the value. It's not the amount, it's not it's not all the stuff that's going on in your life. It's the value, is the value that you put to it. Look, let me tell you a trick in life. Whatever you begin to value, begin to increase, it will begin to increase in value. Anything you value will begin to increase in value. I love to associate myself with people who are just, struggling and upping and coming in life, or people who don't, have somebody that can kind of, talk them up, build them up. When you take your own currency of worth and you find somebody who might be a nobody, because you have pulled them up as worthy, they also increase in value. That's the way this thing works. Whatever you bring value to increases in value. It is also an affirmation of goodness and warmth. Sociologists actually call it a social emotion, gratitude. They call it a social emotion. And they said it strengthens everything. It strengthens relationship. It's actually what helped us in surviving as a human race. It is a survival value because gratitude allows you to help others and get help in return. Remember what I was talking about yesterday? I have at least 6 people in your life that you can count on. Gratitude helps us do that. It helps us build communities. As I'm helping you, I'm going to get help. My house just recovered from COVID this year. Actually, my girls got COVID December 2021, December 22nd. They tested positive for COVID. Now, we had done everything you're supposed to do. We all had the shots. We all had everything. But they had gone to, somebody had a birthday party, so they'd gone somewhere to do something. Anyway, they got COVID. When they got COVID in the house, I was the one taking care of everybody because 2 people got it, and then 3 people got it, and 4 people got it, and 5, everybody in the house was just getting it. And I didn't have it, but I was taking care of everybody. I was mommy nurse, and they were milking it too. Mommy, can I have this? Mommy, can we have this? Mommy, can I have that? So I was doing all of that for them. Then my husband got it, and everybody got it. And then I finally got it. And when I got it, everybody was well by that time. And when I finally got it, guess what happened? Remember I told you, what you give will give back unto you, right? When I got it, they were like, no, Mom, now, no, now we nurse you back. Whatever you give will give back in return. No, Mommy, sit down. Mommy, what do you want to eat? Mommy, what do you do? It's a principle. Now, sometimes when you give back in gratitude, you might not get it from the people you gave it to. That's life, but you will get it. So it doesn't matter where you get it from. That gratitude will come back to you in good measures, pressed down, running over. It will get to you. Studies show that specific areas of the brain are actually involved in expressing and experiencing gratitude. Brain scans of people that were assigned a task that stimulated, expression of gratitude showed lasting changes in the prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is your executive brain function. That heightened, and they showed changes that was lasting changes in the prefrontal cortex that heightened sensitivity to future experiences of gratitude. So they were being grateful now, but their brain shows that that place is so highlighted that in future, they were also going to be grateful. So psychologists have found that over time, being grateful boosts happiness, and it fosters everything: health, physical health, psychological health, even amongst those who have been traumatized, even amongst those who have mental health problems. So practicing gratitude will curb the use of negative emotions. It will shift your inner attention away from negative emotions, and it's going to, so there's all this resentment and envy and all of that. It's going to minimize rumination of what they did to you. Why didn't they do that? No. It wouldn't, it would stop that. So how do you cultivate it? We're going to end on this. How do you cultivate it? I don't know if I have this slide, but I'm going to show you how to cultivate it. Okay. We've already talked about the gratitude journal, right? That's a way, what happened to me? What did I do right? What did I do right? What happened to me? What did I do right? So, and then it said, then write one thing that you didn't like. So ask yourself, and how good is it also, and how is it also good? How is it also a blessing in disguise? So each day you write what happened and what you did right. Then what didn't you like? But what was the blessing in that thing? What is the blessing in disguise? How can you, like Frankel, change a intern concentration death camp into a place where you're writing a report about what you're going to present, when you're released? That is what you want to do in how you develop it, how you cultivate it. Find 2 or 3 ways it helps you. Also, some of the things I'm going to add is take notice, get aware of, don't sit in places where people are constantly complaining and griping about stuff. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Change your point of view in saying something. Just decide to change it. Decide, I'm going to change it. Be humble. Be humble. Be humble. When pridefulness doesn't allow for gratitude, be humble. Like, look, there's nothing you have that you cannot lose tomorrow. Don't ever forget, there is winter, there is spring, there is summer, and there's fall. Don't hold on to anything too tightly, except for to love others. No, nothing material should be held too tightly. You can lose it all. It's a cycle of life. So be humble. If you're put in any kind of position to be anything, let humility begin to engineer the gratitude for you. And share your appreciation. Don't just like something, tell people you like it. You know how that person walks into your office or something, and you're like, in your mind, you say, I like that, but you never say, oh, that looks nice on you. Share your appreciation. Always see the silver lining to something. Gratitude is a non-monetary way to support those non-monetary motivations. Gratitude is a non-monetary way to support those non-monetary motivations. Thank you doesn't cost a dime. Thank you. Just open your mouth right now and just say thank you. Just say thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I mean, I'm talking to yourself. You appreciate yourself. We're going to talk about others in a minute. Tell yourself I appreciate you. Girl, you've been good. You're okay. You're okay. Thank you. It doesn't cost a dime, but it has such great benefits, right? We have studies that have found that thank you from a supervisor give people a strong sense of both self-worth and self-efficacy. If you're a boss here today, you're a supervisor, you're this, saying thank you doesn't cost you anything, but the person you're saying thank you to has self-worth and self-efficacy. So don't shy away, even at work, to say thank you. Thank you. And if you are an employee and you have managers who have done something, don't ever hesitate to say thank you. The expression of gratitude has a spillover effect. Individuals become more trusting with each other and more likely to help each other. So when you begin to practice this, honestly, this is like we're going to change our environment thing. It's a community thing. The more we do it, the better we all get. The benefits of gratitude go so way beyond. And I know I said 1 hour. I'm going to get a few moments because I didn't really start talking until 10 minutes. So give me about 8 more minutes. So the benefits of gratitude will go beyond even just self-worth or self-efficacy. You build agency, right? The one of the things that we realize that the greater the number of gratitude, experienced by people, the better they felt. Studies have shown this. People who kept at it for at least 2 weeks. So I want you to commit to this. That kept at gratitude for at least 2 weeks showed significantly increased happiness. They showed significantly increased life satisfaction. They showed significantly increase in resiliency to stress and illnesses. Does that make sense? So how many people are going to commit? Put in the chat box, I'm committed to gratitude. I will commit to gratitude. I will commit to gratitude. You don't have to write the entire sentence either. You can just say, I commit. I'm committing to gratitude. Say gratitude to your employees. People sometimes doubt themselves. Say thank you to people around in your house, your kids, your spouse. Say thank you. It doesn't take anything from you. Does this make sense? How about, this is the difficult one. Okay, I see those. I will commit to gratitude. Excellent. Well done. Let's get some more. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. How about this one? This is this could be difficult, but if you're in the gratitude zone, it's not difficult. How about thank the people who never thanked you? How about thanking people who never thank you? So let's talk about work, for example. At work, you might have people who are always high profile individual who never say thank you, who never would nothing. They would never say thank you. Doesn't mean you shouldn't say it. You say it. The third group of people that you should thank. How about thank people who never get thanked? You know, the CEOs who is doing the work and nobody actually says thank you. Your doctors, your all kinds of people. How about the people who mop the floor? People who just do thankless, jobs we don't even think to say thank you. Thank those people. They do thankless jobs because some people just expect, okay, that's your job, that's what you're supposed to do. Say thank you. So we're not forcing you here to be grateful. That's not what we're doing. We're presenting the power of it to you. And gratitude can actually make a difference. It can feed the power imbalance in a lot of organizations. Just to be grateful. Create the time and the space to be grateful. Thank you notes are very good. Bring cookies to work. Do something for your household that just shows I'm grateful. I see you. Gratitude also shows I see you. I see you. I see you. Can give a gift. One of the most thoughtful gifts I've received was during this old COVID thing, because Christmas we were locked into this house, and the doorbell rings, and my brother-in-law had sent us those edible, those edible packages, and just a whole bunch of desserts to it. If you had sent that during just regular time, I would have just said, oh, thank you, this. But for that was so thoughtful, just so thoughtful, just random acts of kindness. Giving creates gratitude. So give, commit to giving, give. You can give your parking space. You can get up if you're taking the train. For those of you in the UK and stuff, you're taking the train and there's an elderly person, you or someone who is pregnant, and have them sit down and you stand. you know, it doesn't have to be monetary, like we said. So I want us as a group, we're going to end on this. What are some non-monetary ways we can show gratitude? Can you put in the chat box anything that comes to your mind so people can get ideas of how they're going to do their gratitude this week? So let's share as a community, what are some non-monetary ways you can do that, and then even some monetary ways if you're able to do it. Let's share that, and then we're going to stop there. Yeah. Okay. Thank the gate man. Oh, absolutely. The security guard. Your house help. Help clean the lawn. Paying an elderly fare. Okay. A compliment. Very good. Come on, house. Let's hear some of you. Thank you for those who are doing this. Anyway, any other ways we can gather around this? Any other way? Hold the door for someone, especially if somebody is carrying so many things. Words of encouragement. Absolutely, absolutely. Intentionally smiling. Yes, at someone and look them in the eyes. Oh my, yes, yes, yes. Help pick up someone's medication. Breakfast in bed for your spouse. Yay. Yes, 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 yes. Wouldn't that be nice, right? Yes. So taking over from your colleagues. Absolutely. Calling the shut-in. Yes, yes. Thank you guys for sharing a lot of this. These are some things we can gather around at work. What lessons did the experience teach you? Can you find ways to be thankful for what happened? How can you show gratitude to your coworkers? These are all good. These are all good. So please make sure that you are in the space that you are showing gratitude. So today we talked about the gratitude and what was it? Reframing your mind. Thank you. Reframing. And so when we talk about reframing and gratitude, it go line in line, hand in hand, because it's almost impossible for you to be holding a negative thought and then be gracious. You understand? So you have to transform, you have to reframe. You're not reframing for the other person's benefit. You're reframing. Let me remove the pen and spotlight so that I can join you guys. Yeah, you're not reframing because of any other reason other than this time you want to have peace and you want to live. You're saying yes to 2022. All right, I said give me time, and so my time is done, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope this was beneficial to you. If it was, just type yes, yes on there. Let's see. Let's hear you. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for taking the time to say thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, thank you. I see all those hands, thumbs up. I like it. So we'll see you tomorrow, right? Thank you, Wumi. I see that. We'll see you tomorrow, the same time. Invite your friends. Thank you, thank you. We'll see you. All right. And then Jifra can then go to sleep. It's probably like past 2 a.m. now, right? Loving you right now. Thank you. Yeah. All right.